Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of FTB Beyond here on the CreedCraft server. Today we're going to be having a look at fusion crafting from Draconic Evolution. This is the third and probably the final part of my kind of Draconic Evolution mini-series here this week. So far we've done the arms and the armour, and we've also done the energy ball thing out here, which you should have seen last episode. And this, at the moment, this has been running for a couple of days now, and it does have nearly 30%. It's nearly 30% full. So this tier 7 one is nearly 30% full now, and basically I have had it running on my solar panels pretty much 24/7 for 2 days. And so that's how far it's got up. So within a week we should be able to fill this up. And I have taken the flux points off this for now because I'm still having huge problems with my flux network and being able to charge all my stuff throughout the night. I'm finding at the moment when it gets dark I'm actually dropping out of the sky because my nano beacon turns off. So I'm still not producing enough energy to create a surplus. So amazingly, you see how many of these tier 8 solar panels I've got up here. And these are so expensive to produce. I think they take about 12,000 wood and about 14,000 glass per 2 of these. So this is a gigantic amount of resources that I've spent on this already. So I think I am going to have to get into a more stable form of power. One that will produce power as a backup 24/7. Means I will probably need to get into big reactors, or extreme reactors as it's known now, fairly soon. That won't be in the next episode, as I will need to get resources for it. But that will probably be coming up soon. So anyway, let's get straight into this fusion crafting. If we have a look at this manual again, same as we did last session. If we go into here, we can see the fusion crafting here. And so the recipes, each recipe requires 3 things: a catalyst, the ingredients, and power. And so this we're going to need a huge amount of power for as well. So that's why I've got a load stored up in the power ball, and I'll probably create another flux controller, one for power in and one for power out, and I think that will solve a lot of the problems that I've been having. So, and then let's see, the catalyst is placed in the core, and each ingredient is placed in a separate fusion crafting injector. If the recipe is valid, you will see the output displayed in the core's GUI, as well as an option to start crafting. Different recipes also require different tiers of crafter. I don't think this chaotic is currently within Draconic Evolution for 1.10. I don't think the Chaos Guardian has yet been added. But as the pack gets updated, we will get onto the chaotic stuff. At the moment we can only get up to the Draconic, which is the Awaken Draconian. And so with this we can actually start making the Awaken Draconian. The tier of your setup is determined by its crafting injectors. So we upgrade these injectors from basic that we craft, up to Withen that we upgrade, and then up to Draconic, and then finally up to chaotic once it's implemented. So there's 2 stages to the crafting. There is the charging stage and the crafting stage. And then once each stage is complete, there will be like a depiction, or it will show you exactly what's happening by the kind of particle effects around the core. And you'll see that once we start actually using this thing. And so we have the recipe here for the fusion crafting core, 4 lapis blocks, 4 diamonds, and a draconic core. So let's get that made. If we pull up in here, need to make sure I click on that and go to Draconic. And here's the fusion crafting core here. So we'll get that out. And then we're going to need 9 of these basic fusion crafting injectors as well. And so this is 5 stone, 1 block of iron, a draconic core, and 2 diamonds. So we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 of those. The other things we're going to need, I think, are in here. We're going to need some energy conduit, and I'm going to need a flux point. I'll put one back in there. And so that should be everything we need for this. I'm going to have a look over at Avnior's setup, and I'm going to sleep because his celestial manipulator has been taken down for today. So I'm going to have a look over here at his setup, just see if there's anything I've missed. And you'll have to excuse the lag again over in this area once we get into here. So he's only done a 8, and there we go, there's the lag. He's only done an 8 injector setup here. So he's got 4 on this side with a flux point and power going in, and then 4 more on this side with exactly the same flux point and power going in. I'm going to set it up slightly different to this, and the fusion core is 1 step off the ground here. And so again, the same as I've done for the Powerball, I'm going to prototype it up on the ground out here. That's one of the reasons why I have shaved off all the grass up here, so that I've got a lot of space up here for beta testing new different options for the different mods and prototyping different setups as well. I can do kind of building tests up here, and I can do kind of multi-block structures like this set up as well. So I can just have them all bundled up here, and then when I get a space for them, I will fit them into place. So let's get this set up first. I'm going to need a little bit of scaffolding as well, so I'll grab some of that and I'll make some space here. Just get all of that out, and I'll keep the shovel just in case I need to dig up some dirt. Okay, so that one's in there with the core on top of it, and I'll allow that to float. And so now, I'm not exactly sure how these place, and I think I'm going to need some scaffolding as well for these. So I'm going to want this to come off in this direction, I think. So I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And need 9 and 10. So that these will end up 8 blocks away. And so now I can build this up into a 3x3, and I can put these against them there, and then I can take away the scaffolding like that. And then we want some of these energy conduits on the back here, and the flux point. Put this onto main power, and I'm going to put the limit onto ignored for now, so we can get the maximum output onto this. And so now we can see this is directly in line onto that centre one. Might not look like it. In fact, it doesn't look like it. I'll put these one too far over, it looks like. Let's test this out again. Yes, I have. Okay, we'll fix that now. Take these ones off, and for symmetry's sake, I want to take that one off as well. That one there, that one there, that one there. And take the scaffolding out. Put the conduit in and put the flux point on. And ignore the limit. And then finally we can take away all the scaffolding again. And there we go, that's the basic fusion crafting setup. So let's see it in action now. I think the first thing that we might want to actually do with this fusion crafting is actually upgrade the injectors themselves. So we can do that straight away to this Wyvern Fusion Core crafting injector here. And the recipe for this is 4 diamonds, a Wyvern core, 2 draconic cores, and a draconian block. And the catalyst is the basic fusion crafting injector. And there's 8 things we need to craft here, and we've got 9 of these. And so we can use one of these as the catalyst. So if we come into right click on the fusion crafting core here, we can place the catalyst inside there, content saved. And so now we just need to gather up the materials. And so if we have a look for diamond, we get 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. We need Wyvern core, so I'll just have a look for draconic. We need a Wyvern core. Was it 2 draconic cores? I can't remember the recipe now, so let's just go through that again. A Wyvern core, 2 draconic cores, and a draconian block. And we can get that from there. The way you set these up, just bring all of these into there. You've got to be kind of careful with these, and I'll show you why now. With these ones, say the block, it's nice and easy. You can put that into there, and a Wyvern core can go in here. You can put them in any order into these. But with these, if I right click on here with diamonds, you can see they all go in, they stack in there. And so we're going to have to, I don't need that rotten flesh, put them like this. And then we can put these around like that. And that's how you have to do it. And later on we will get into kind of automating this. I don't know if we'll do that today. I've got to work out the best way of actually pushing stuff into it and making sure that it all goes into the right places. I've seen a couple of ways of doing it, but I want to try and figure out my own way of doing it. So I'll probably do a kind of mini spotlight episode on automating this thing once I've got it up and running. And so now if we right click on here, you can see the little sprite of it inside. And now we can see that the basic fusion crafting injector becomes the Wyvern fusion crafting injector. And we can click on start. And I really like this animation. It's got some nice sounds and some nice animations on it as well, nice particle effects. And so you'll see the lightning striking into the core here from these, and you'll see these kind of globes, I suppose you call them globes, becoming more opaque. They come to the center here, and so that's the charging phase, and so this is now the crafting phase. And so they will spin around faster and faster and faster, and then sink into the actual object itself. And there we go. That is the first of our Wyvern fusion crafting injectors. And so we can place this back in the center. And so I'm going to go through and do the rest of these. Now that I've shown you kind of what we're doing, I don't want to show you it another 8 times, but we'll try a couple of recipes with the Wyvern fusion crafting injectors as well, see what we can do with those, because I'm pretty sure there's some interesting stuff we can do. Okay, and so now we have 9 Wyvern fusion crafting injectors here. I keep getting mixed up with them. Wyvern fusion crafting injectors. It's a long phrase to say. And so now we can actually start doing some of the kind of the more important upgrades. So if we have a look in here now, the first thing I want to get into is Awaken Draconian, because this opens up the entire mod for us. With the Awaken Draconian, we can get into whatever we want within this mod. So we will have a look again for Draconic. And this stuff here, this Awaken Draconian blocks. If we have a look at the fusion crafting recipe for this, you can see it is 6 draconic cores and a dragon heart, and the catalyst is 4 draconian blocks. This is very, very expensive though. It costs 350 million RF, and so I think this is going to go quite slowly. So I've got a couple of ideas about what I can do to make it go quicker. But I have found out whilst doing all of this, that you can actually put multiple in here and it will save them per recipe. And so it's annoying, this is annoying, but it keeps its sprite on there. So anyway, if we place these into here and these ones into there, it doesn't matter what order you put them in at all. And then I don't know if you can put multiple lots of a catalyst in. So if I put these in here, it looks like you can. So I've got 20 draconian blocks in here, and it'll output 4 draconian blocks per 4 of these. And so if we just click on start now, we'll see how long this is going to take. Right, it's on 0. And that is because we have a backlog on each of these. The maximum output on this is probably the bottleneck that we have. It's on 2% now. So this is going to take a long time, and this is only doing one of them. So if we have a look at how many flux points, so we've only got 3 more of these in here. I think I've got some more inside though. So let's come over here and have a look how many we've got. Come into here, see if there's any in here first of all. No, but there is one of those. I'll grab that out. And is there any in the refined storage system? There's another 3. Okay. So what I may have to do is change the setup of this around a bit. Because I only need 7 of them for this. What I can do, I suppose, can I stop this? I think that might have just destroyed them. I don't know. Let's grab these back. And we'll see if we can set this up a little bit better. If I take that center one out and take all of that out, this will power up 4 of them. And we'll put the ignore on true. And we'll take all of this down, because we've now exceeded the limits of what these energy conduits can do. So if we grab these 4, then I'll use some scaffolding again to bring these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 on either side, 1 above and 1 below. And then we can take out all of this. Place them onto there and get rid of this around the back. And then we can put another flux point here, which will power up all of these and ignore the limit on there. Okay, and so now what we need to do is separate this out again into groups of 5, and we can put these 4 on there, those 2 onto there, and that onto there. Just want to make sure, yes, and yes. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the hearts. That is everything we need. And in here we need to put 20 of these. So put them into there, and this should go much faster now. There we go. And if this starts running out of power as well, what we can do is actually put the power beam online as well. So that's why I've stored up a huge amount in there, so that I can get some of the higher powered stuff in this. So now we see these spherical balls here are coming in, and they will fly around just as I did before. At the moment it looks like these are empty, however once this finishes they will repopulate with the remaining ingredients. And this I still think will require me to press start on this. But we'll see. So you can see they have popped back in there. Output obstructed. And we press start. So what I might be able to do here, see if I've got a hopper. If I can just put a hopper underneath it, that should output it straight away. And so now we have our first 4 Awakened Draconian blocks. Excellent. So now with these we can upgrade back to a tier 8 eventually, once we get 400 or so of them. And this is why I want to find out a way of automating this properly. Now before it gets too dark, I'm going to sleep once I can. Just want to see what this is going to do. So they go in, this is ready, I do need to press start. There's probably a way, maybe with a redstone signal, so I will get a lever. And I'll put a lever onto the top of it. If I can. No. Can't put a lever onto it. Okay, let's sleep now. Okay, so what I may be able to do is if I put a block on there and put the lever onto the block, that'll power the block and maybe power this as well. So yes, excellent. So now this should be automated. So there's another 8 of them there. In here we have another 2, so we'll see once these ones go through. Will it automatically do the next ones? And if so, that's a very kind of early progression type of automation. And then I've just got to get the ingredients for it into here. And so long as you're only doing one kind of thing, then that's okay. But I will eventually want to put this onto auto-crafting within AE. So it disappears. And no, it looks like it needs a pulse. Okay, so if we had a redstone clock on there, that would pulse. So what do we have redstone-wise available? Do I have any clocks? No, I don't. Could do it with a phantom face, a redstone proxy. Now, where's what I'm looking for? I don't know, I'll have a look between episodes to see what I can do to automate this. There's the redstone clock. So if I put that on there, that should give this pulses so that whenever it finishes crafting, it should start again. So let's gather up some more materials and I'll see if this actually works. Right, so in my hotbar here you can see I've gathered up enough materials to make a whole stack of these Awaken Draconian. So if I start putting these into there, now this should repeat 16 times in total. That one in there. And it should start as soon as I put this into here, with any luck. I may need to press OK once. So if I press start once, start it off, and we'll see after the first one if it's going to be okay for the rest of them. Because if this works just like this, I'm happy to leave it. Just kind of I will stock up a load of stuff within these. So hopefully this will work. Anytime today. Okay, that disappears, and then no. Okay. So, next want to test taking that one off and that one off, and just putting this one straight onto the side. Then the pulse is going directly into it rather than into a block. And so again, just wait for this to finish. You can see in here it is finished charging now, and then the crafting shouldn't take too long. Now, I'm going to need a huge amount of these. I'm thinking around about 800 in total, maybe 1,000 of them. So I'm going to need to do this so many times, like 250 times. That finishes, and then it starts up again. Excellent. So we have a kind of semi-automated system. It is automated, but it's jury-rigged, basically. So I will put some. Well, actually, no. I'll do this between episodes. Next, I think I want to have a look for a couple more recipes to show you today with this thing. And so yeah, let me have a look through the recipe book, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's just completing the last one of these now, and there is one last thing I did want to show you guys today, and that is this dislocator here. And so you can see the recipe is quite simple. I have Ender Draconium dust and blaze powder. So if we make one of these, if we actually have a look at what we can do with this, and we do that like that, we can make an item dislocator with it, which is the magnet from Draconic Evolution. We can also do some fusion crafting with it, with draconium ingots, 3 ender pearls and a withen core, to turn it into this advanced dislocator here. And that is what I want to make. And so we go to here, and how many is it I need again? Go to the recipe for it. 3 ender pearls, 4 draconium ingots and a withen core. So let's cover up those. Okay, so now we've got the ingredients, we can put them into either side here. And withen core there, and on this side got the draconium ingots, and it automatically starts up. Let's grab these out of there, and this shouldn't take too long. And once this finishes, the advanced dislocator is going to be really handy from now on. Because one of the things I'm going to do soon is actually start moving away from spawn. And this thing will help me with that. Now this I'm going to need some more ender pearls with. So I'll just grab a few stacks of those. And we open up the advanced dislocator. Do I need to shift click it? Aha, add fuel here. So ender pearls are fuel with this. So we can just add in all of the fuel we've just given it, so it's a whole stack. Just need to do this up to 64. And there we go, out of ender pearls here. And so this is a personal translocator basically. It allows you to teleport wherever you want, and it allows you to set different locations as well. So if I want to set, say if I go to home base here, this is exactly where my home base is, on this spot right here. And so this will allow you to save coordinates, X, Y and Z coordinates, but also allow facing as well. And so if I want to be right away in here right next to my ME terminal here and facing it, I can shift right click on this, and then I can click on add new, and we can give it a name. So I'm just going to call this actually spawn base, and we commit. Is that how we do it? Let's see. I thought that was how you did it anyway. Add new, spawn base, and enter. There we go. Oh, we've got two of them now. So it was commit. So we can now remove this one. So we've got this one set and we can lock it. There we go. And so you can see I've just used it then by accident, and so the fuel goes down. So it takes an ender pearl whenever you use this. But you can shift right click it to select which one you want. So we're going to set up a few of these, and then you shift right click and we're back here. If we now head over to spawn, so these machines that I still use quite often here. And so if I want to set a new one, I can shift right click on here, add new, so spawn center, and enter on that one. I can lock it, and now we've got two of them, so I can click on spawn base and go back to here and shift right click, go to spawn center, escape out of there and right click, and I'm back here. And so all it takes is the ender pearls to do this. You can see I've got 60 fuel left. In the bottom right there I've got spawn center. If I shift and mouse wheel on this, I can actually scroll up and down the list. So I don't even need to go into the GUI. I can go back to the spawn base here and then back to the center. Oops, back to the center. So that's really nice and handy there. So that is, I'm afraid, all I've got time for today. This is a massive addition to my arsenal. It's going to mean getting around the map is going to be a lot easier from now on. So yeah, thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.